Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us for OCCScrims. I am Loudtrix. I will be your cameraman tonight. I am joined today by Trickster, Dank Monkey, and
It,
Amara.
Hello.
Alright, folks, take it away.
so, we're joined once again, everyone, to an official OCC scrim between Hornbeast and Game of Thrones Silver Division. And we're happy to say, officially, that Ash is now in comp, so she may be seen in these games. Anything to add before we start, Mara or Dink?
The only thing I have to say is we're definitely going to see Ash tonight. I guarantee it 100%. With Bob coming out with such a great utility, I guarantee we see him at least thrown into a Graviton Surge once or twice tonight. And I'm excited to watch these two teams because I've actually never watched or commentated for Game of Thrones that I remember. So I'm pretty excited for this game. Go ahead, Amara.
I'm just here for the hashtag nerf Bob, please. Because I can't with him. I can't kill him.
Wait, you're not happy that Dad can join in the fun?
I just don't like Bob. Okay? Don't like Bob. Bob has been mean to me since PTR, and we're not friends. That's all I have to say about Bob.
And you've heard it here.
All right. Well, on our first map, we have Bro. So let's go ahead and get this going. Tonight, we have Horn Beast in Game of Thrones with Chibi Kitty leading Horn Beast and Darius Fault leading a Game of Thrones. So, what do you think that we're going to see tonight out of these teams, Mara?
I don't know. I know both teams have been putting in a lot of practice. I haven't seen either one actually play Ash, though, in practice and quick play with me. And again, because we haven't had her in scrims before. So I think that could be a really big game changer for either of these teams tonight.
I definitely agree with you. Ash is such a strong addition to the hero pool, being able to aim down sights. It's like a nice McCree Widowmaker hybrid. And with that ult, it's just ridiculous amount of potential with the knock up. You could throw it into a whole team to kind of stagger them around a shield and then land a big slam onto a full team. And then you have Bob just raining down from behind. There is a lot of potential with him. I saw something, I actually watched a video the other day with like Bob combos, and I saw a Dragon Strike come out and then Bob rush straight down the middle of it. You can't even see him coming. It's scary, honestly, because Bob is such a threat.
Yesterday, my team Deathballs was actually in a practice, and the enemy booped our Reinhardt up with a Bob and then shattered.
Ooh, that one's rough.
We lost.
That's a rough one.
The thing about Ash is that one, she does have an issue right now that Jeff Kaplan has addressed, and it will be coming out in a couple of patches. But even with that issue, it's an animation issue there. But even with that, she's still been deadly in comp. And I played about 20 games of comp yesterday, and she was deadly. But she is a high skill cap.
Couldn't agree more. And right now, we have Horn Beast on the defense with the classic Ryan Zarya, Dad 76 on the McCree, and Chibi Kai on the Junkrat with a Moira and Zenyatta coming out for their DPS. And right now, it looks like we have Game of Thrones coming out of the theater with Helix Snake sitting up top on the Widow trying to get a pick. We have Darius Fulton leading the charge here. The Moira Orb coming in early. Both Fire Strikes coming out, just trying to get a little bit of damage, try to get that bonus towards your hammer down. And right now, Darius Fulton's shield is taking a beating from the Junkrat on the side of Horn Beast. Darius Fulton drops down and is going to start initiating this fight. And it looks like both teams are just going to hold off the point here, but Darius Fulton going in for the big charge. But it looks like he might be in trouble here as Trippy Ninja goes to speed him out. Chibi Kai doing some damage, casual op, just getting some damage in as well. But it looks like this one is going in the way of Game of Thrones extremely early, with Pika getting 3 picks there. Just huge plays by them. I believe Helix Snake got an early pick, and then Pika just walked in and took everybody out. That was beautiful by the side of Game of Thrones. What did you see there?
So I was worried a little bit there at first. They stayed on that high ground a really long time, and that really hurt Darius Fusion's shield, but once he got down there and got aggressive, it caused the other Rhine to drop the shield and get out of place, and they weren't able to recover from that, and that's how they took the point.
I was definitely worried for Darius Fulton's shield there. Was a little worried with the Junkrat that he wasn't going to be able to shield his team, but he got his shield down and got enough time to charge it back up to fight on point. And they did the work that they needed to. And now we got Darius Fulton coming out with the slam, but getting blocked by Casual OpSec. Definitely unfortunate from them, but Casual OpSec landing the slam, getting the charge on the Darius Fulton, now just swinging away. We have a Boostio coming out on Trippy Ninja, and then Pika is going to get hammered away on, and it looks like we have a High Noon coming out from Dad76 and doesn't end up picking up anybody. It looks like this is going to be a solid hold for the team of Horned Beasts.
Right, it was a beautiful hold. What we saw there is Casual waited. He didn't immediately do that counter shatter like we see a lot of times in these scrims and in some of the higher ranked games. He waited those couple of seconds until Darius didn't see it coming, and that's when he did it. And then that Coalescence came in and finished off that tank, which allowed them to pick off everybody else.
Definitely worked out in his favor, but we have Dad76 taking out Helix Snake extremely early onto that Genji, but we have Graviton Surge coming out as well as a beat drop from Game of Throws. And not much follow-up there, but Pika does end up getting Casual OpSec. Sway gets the biotic grenade onto Trippin' Balls, and then we have a Graviton Surge coming out for Horned Beast, and we got the Tiger coming out as well. Chibi Kai getting a double kill right there on Trippy Ninja and Karuga. And then Darius Fulton's just gonna walk around doing whatever he wants to, swinging his hammer, just trying to get as much damage as possible and get this payload moving. We got Helix Snake in the backline trying to make a ruckus, and Darius Fulton's just pushing this away. Casual OpSec's finally coming back into this fight, and now we're gonna have a Ryan v Ryan battle on the front line. We have Bob coming out from the side of Game of Throws, and he's gonna get some massive damage here behind that Reinhardt shield, but now he's up in front of it, and a huge shatter comes out from Casual OpSec, and we get the High Noon now from Dad76, but Triple Balls gets 2, Casual OpSec gets 1, and a shatter from Darius Fulton might just clean this up. Seeing Chibi Kai pick up Kagura picking up Trippin' Balls, and we still have both Reinhardts up. Casual OpSec getting the parry on Darius Fulton and winning this team fight. Just absolutely fantastic hold for the side of Horned Beasts.
Absolutely, they are doing a great job holding here in this area. So that grab came in, but there was no follow-up on the side of Game of Thrones. So that allowed Chibi to come in and do her grab. And if you notice, she was 100% charged that entire fight.
Chibi was definitely doing a lot of the damage there. Being that 100% charged Zarya is not something that you want to mess around with. As a Genji, you kind of have to stay away from that because you can't deflect any of that damage except for those right clicks. And Chibi doesn't really right click all that much when there's a deflecting Genji interface. But right now we have Chibi Kitty picking off Helix Snake super early in the fight, and Casual OpSec just standing there with the shield. Darius Fulton looking for the pin but doesn't hit anything. Giant shatter again from Casual OpSec. He is just on it tonight. Swinging away, Chibi Kitty getting 1, Darius Fulton taking out Casual OpSec, and Charvy's bugging away at that shield right now. Triple Balls resing Casual OpSec, and Darius Fulton getting Chibi Kitty with the Fire Strike, and that's going to be huge, taking down that full charge Zarya. Now she's going to have to build that back up, even though Game of Throws looks like they might be pulling out of this fight.
Absolutely, and that was a beautiful res. This is a really, really long spawn for the side of for Casual here, and so that Mercy in there, although she's not as common anymore, allowed him to get back in there quick.
Oh, Helix Snake coming out with a big Dragon Blade and Graviton Surge combo, and it looks like Chibi Kai is in some trouble right now. It's Helix Snake picking up 5 kills just in total in that fight, and Chibi Kitty is the only one left alive, and it looks like Helix might pick up Chibi Kitty as well, but this is going to be a huge stagger. Oh, absolutely giant, but we get the res coming out from Trippin' Balls, so it doesn't even matter. Mara, what did you see in that fight? That Graviton Surge was just huge.
It was, and it's a tiny area, and while the Mercy can help with reses, unless you have a Zen, especially in a tight corridor like that, there's nothing you can do against that combo.
We have a beat drop coming out inside the Graviton Surge, and Casual OpSec's Earth Shatter getting blocked, and we have Bob coming out now from the side of Game of Thrones, and it looks like Casual OpSec shooting from all of that damage, and Horned Beast is going to hold this. That's a little surprising to me, honestly. What do you think there?
I think if Bob had come in maybe a little earlier, maybe he could have helped a little bit more, but they got split up, and the combo with the Deadeye absolutely destroyed their push there.
Couldn't agree more. That Deadeye believe it picked up 1, but even just 1 pick is just huge. And Helix Snake coming out in the back line, picking up Dad 76, looking for Chibi Kitty, but picks up Trippin' Balls. And this is going to be a slow roll 'em for Game of Throws with... Ooh, but we have Chibi Kitty picking up 2, almost 3, getting Kagura and Trippy Ninja, but it looks like Game of Thrones is just going to push on through, and now we're going to have this stagger for the end of the fight here. It's going to be up to Game of Thrones to make a quick team fight to try to pull this out. Amara, what do you think they need to do here to try to secure this quickly?
I think that Game of Thrones needs to just come in, pick out the healers, and save their ults and take this fight. They can build ults, some of these ults back up in the minute that they have left. Other than that, as long as they're getting the picks, they're going to take this point. So right now what the other team needs to do is just stall.
Darius Fulton got a huge shatter there, picking up 2, and then we had Trippy Ninja getting 2 as well, getting one of the boops onto the Reinhardt there, and that was just a clean fight coming out from Game of Thrones. And now we're going to see Horn Beast on the attack. Let's see if they can pick up where they lacked on that defense. That was still a very solid defense with Game of Thrones only have 46 seconds left at the end of the round. But we'll see if,
and that's one of the things I love about this map. You can lose first point in 2 seconds, and you can still hold with that 46 seconds left. It's such a complicated map, and there's so many different things you can do here.
There's a lot of different paths on this map, especially in the streets phase. There's always that like side route around the outside that it seems like not a lot of players use. And then you have that high ground like into the building that's also such a great utility. And honestly, I don't think we saw either team utilize those too much. But I think if you start utilizing those, then it makes for a quicker push. But
yes,
right
there's
now,
a lot of high ground opportunity later on in this map, and even in this first part, but it's so open that it's a little bit different. But I would love to see either of these teams utilize this high ground right now.
the high ground worked out extremely well for Game of Thrones. A little worried Darius Fulton's shield there, but it did end up prevailing in the end. And right now we have Darius Fulton coming back out on that Reinhardt with Zarya again on, or Pika again on that Zarya. Did we just lose our stream host?
We did, so we're virtually at a pause at the moment.
Seems so.
It's okay, Logics, we still love you.
What is...
I don't see you online.
He's in game right now.
Okay, cool. All right, and let's get it rolling back up with everybody back in this stream, back in the game. And then we are seeing a Symmetra. I don't think we'll see that Symmetra. The Symmetra would be an interesting pick for me. But honestly, it wouldn't be a bad thing here. If Chibi Kitty can play it right, then they can get across that high ground, but they could even do that with just the Lucio speed boost. But they can get into some weird places with that Symmetra teleporter. And I think if they actually run the Symmetra teleporter, then could be a very good thing for them.
It looks like they're going to take the teleporter up onto the top left coming out of their spawn, and it looks like they're going to try to come onto this awning above Hotel.
I don't think I've ever seen this push before, so this will be interesting to see how that plays out. Oh, but Helix Snake's getting a huge pick on Chibi Kitty super early in that fight, but now it is a 5v6 with Helix Snake getting that early pick. But now we got Darius Fulton swinging away at Chibi Kai, and Chibi Kai just trying to stay alive, and it's not going to be enough. Helix Snake taking out Charvy as well, but Casual Offset getting that stagger onto Sway, so if Casual can get out of there or just die right now, that'll be a big thing for them coming out with probably a 6v4 now. Ooh, we're still in this fight. We have Trippin' Balls and Casual Offset still on this point, but Darius Fulton picking up 2, Kagura picking up 1, and Casual Offset getting Darius Fulton. This looks like it might be an extremely dirty take for Game of Thrones, or not Game of Thrones, Horn Beast, but it looks like it's working out for him. And Chibi Kitty's going to pick up Kagura right there on the Ashe, but I don't think they're going to be able to fully recontest this. This is an extremely dirty push, but it worked out extremely well. Chibi Kitty picking up 2 and Casual Offset picking up Pika. That was not clean at all, but it worked.
It did work. It's very interesting. But ultimately what happened is it split up the other team because they were confused. And so even with that pick, with the shorter spawn, they were able to come in and take it. The issue with running that particular path is that you have to drop down to the point anyway. So if you can find a different way to split the enemy team in half on there, you can still just come to the front gate.
there, I think if Helix Snake wouldn't have been up on that statue, or if Chibi Kai would have went in first and had that shield up, that I don't know if it would. I think it may have been a different outcome with Chibi Kitty getting picked off so early, and again Chibi Kitty just getting picked off by Helix Snake. That's gonna be a problem for this Symmetra here, but I think that she needs to play behind Chibi Kai's shield just a little bit more and just play a little bit safer, because she's a huge asset to these fights.
She absolutely is, and if you can, this is such a small area that while I don't really see Symmetra run on attack here, there are a lot of places you can get your turrets.
Dad 76 coming out with the Dragon Strike right into the Graviton Surge, but only picks up Pika. Tripping Balls also picked off Trippy Ninja. We are in a 4v4 here with Pika Tripping Balls trying to put pressure off Darius Fulton, but they are pushing payload right now. Dad 76, Chibi Kitty, and Tripping Balls all getting hammered down. Darius Fulton pinning Dad 76. Tripping Balls purple and sniped by Helix Snake. This is not looking so good on this push for Horn Beast here, but they do pop out the Symmetra ultimate, and I'm not sure about that play. I think it would have been better to maybe split the payload, but they are going to push in on it anyway. Oh,
I agree.
Helix
The only
Snake looking
issue
at the
with
back.
splitting the payload here is you've got two corners so that the payload can come back around, so it is really difficult to get that Symmetra wall placed on this particular area.
Something that I found out the other day, and I actually didn't know, is you can rotate the Symmetra shield.
Yes.
I had no clue
Like
about
a
that.
May
But Darius
wall.
Fulton picking up 2, Sway picking up 1. That's Chibi Kitty, Chibi Kai, and Charvy all down. We have the Valkyrie from the Mercy on the side of Game of Throws, which is Trippy Ninja, pulling it all back together, getting that heal, getting that damage boost, just doing everything that Trippy Ninja does on that Mercy, and that was beautiful hold by the team of Game of Throws.
Absolutely, and I find this switch to the Pharah interesting. I think he was absolutely destroying on Widow, but this is a beautiful spot to pull out Pharah. I don't particularly like her the rest of the map, but if you can get high enough to get above these ceilings, you can be pretty deadly.
Oh, that 76 picking out Trippin Ninja extremely early, so there's no reses coming out for that team. Darius Fulton getting the charge on a Chibi Kai, but Chibi Kai knocks down 2 with the Earth Shatter and doesn't end up getting that pin. Dad 76 gets Kagura gets Chibi Kai. Darius Fulton charging back in and gets Charvy. The huge pick on the Moira, and Darius Fulton just trying to swing away and save this point, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen here for Dad 76 getting Darius Fulton. We have Helix Snake just raining down from above, trying to do everything he can, trying to get casual OBSEC here, but the bubble comes out, mitigates some of that damage. It doesn't look like Game of Thrones is going to be able to hold it here. Looks like they might be going for a soft reset, just trying to contest this as long as possible, but casual OBSEC playing extremely aggressive and getting that bubble out to get that damage. Helix Snake picking off Chibi Kitty, Dad 76 picking off Sway, and there's a Graviton Surge coming out from the team of Game of Thrones, and Darius Fulton's just gonna run through it. Casual OBSEC and Charby both getting kills there. Trippin Ball is trying to do everything he can. Casual OBSEC standing on the payload trying to push. Darius Fulton trying to contest for as long as possible, but there's nobody there, and we have the sound barrier come out from Trippin Balls, but it doesn't look like it was really needed, and honestly, that was the only thing that looked even slightly questionable to me from the side of Horn Beast. That was an extremely solid push. What do you think, Igmara?
I completely agree. The big issue here is that they are charging casual just like they were charging Chibi. He is at 100%, and that is what allowed him to come in and take out that Mercy and finish off that Zarya, which took away some of the stall from the enemy team.
Zarya is one of those that I really like to play on attack a lot more than defense, and the Dragon Strike coming in on the Graviton Surge, picking up 3, Pika Kagura and Trippy Ninja, and this is going to be a clean take from the side of Horn Beast, and they're going to have a lot more time if they can push this all the way to the end. And it is. They have 2 minutes and 15 seconds going into this next fight, where
Absolutely.
Game of Thrones only has 27.
That is a beautiful spot to ult from, because your Hanzo can see your grab through those doorways. And I love it. It was perfectly placed, perfectly comboed, and that's ultimately what won them the point there.
That Dragon Strike came out at the perfect time from Dad 76. Absolutely perfect placement on the grab, picking up that many people, and then the Dragon Strike was able to get in there early enough to secure all of those kills. Sometimes you see the Dragon Strike come out just a little bit too late, and it doesn't end up picking up anything, or maybe even just one person, and it's not really a huge turning point in the fight for 2 ultimates. But that right there was the perfect execution of that Graviton Surge Dragon Strike combo from Chibi Kitty and Dad 76. So right now we are seeing
That
Horn
combo was
Beast.
actually with casual.
Was it casual?
It was. And
okay.
and actually, if you noticed, a lot of the fights were taken because of small picks or separations of the group from Dad's Hanzo ults. So he actually played a big part other than just that particular combo in taking the entire map.
Couldn't agree more. Dad 76 has been playing extremely well, but now we're going to see him swapping over to the Reaper, and we are going to see Horn Beast on the defense here with Game of Throws having 1 minute to do as much as they can, and then they have to defend for 2.5. It might be a little bit rough here for Game of Throws, but I'm definitely interested to see what they can do. It looks like they're going to push straight down main here, just taking a little bit of poke damage on Darius Fulton's shield. But Sway is already extremely low in this fight, and that is not a good situation for them to be in. But we do have Kagura now on the Pharah just raining down from above. And Darius Fulton picking up tripping balls extremely early. That's a huge pick for them. Darius Fulton getting the charge on Casual OffSec and just trying to do everything he can. But Casual OffSec and Darius Fulton both go down extremely early. And this is looking pretty good for Game of Throws right now. I don't know if Horn Beast is going to be able to hold this, but Chibi Kitty right now on the Zarya just trying to hold on. But Pika's right there with her. And Pika picks up Chibi Kitty. A huge pick from Pika. Just playing extremely well right now on that Zarya, and Helix Snake finishes off Charby, and this is going to be the point take for them. What did you see there, Amara?
You know, the Pharah came in, and I think that really disrupted them, even though she wasn't necessarily getting the kills, because they just didn't have a counter for her until Dad switched over to the 76 for this next push. So I think that messed them up, it split them up, they got a little confused, and the rest of the team was able to come in and finish them off.
Couldn't agree more, but now we're in overtime with Dad switching over to that Soldier 76. And now we still have Kagura over on that Pharah. We'll see how that works out, because Dad took out Kagura extremely early when he tried to push, but it may have just been because he didn't expect a counter. But now we got Trippin' Balls taking out Pika extremely early, and that's a huge pick for Trippin' Balls. But now we got the Coalescence coming out for Charby, but it's not going to matter because we have Transcendence on the side of Game of Throws. Kagura picking up Trippin' Balls, but Casual OffSec getting the huge hammer down, and that's everybody off the point. That was a gigantic hammer down and charge, because that knocked everybody off the point, and there was no chance for anybody to contest because he got literally everyone with
Absolutely,
that ult.
it was beautiful, and the Pharaoh was too far back to get to the point. The thing here is it's such a small space. If you get caught in that choke, you can't avoid things like a shatter as easily as you could in the more open parts of the map. It was a beautiful shatter and a beautiful charge.
Absolutely beautiful, and that's one of those that you just have to play extremely careful. You either have to play behind that wall and try to contest from there, or you have to walk forward and play aggressive with that Rhine Shield. But as soon as that Rhine Shield is down, then you are in some trouble because of that shatter.
I think that was probably the goal of Kagura going up through that window, to try to get up there, keep the team back so they could get through that. But that Soldier being such a small area, that Soldier was able to just take her down super fast.
And the Soldier 76 was an extremely good swap from Dad 76, starting on that Reaper, but we saw him extremely quickly swap to that Soldier after that first point take. And that was a really good take by the team of Game of Throws, but now we're going to see Kagura on the Symmetra for the defense, and we're going to have to see Game of Throws hold for 2 minutes and 30 seconds here. And then Horn Beast does not have far to go at all, 30 meters. So now we're seeing Horn Beast come in with the traditional Rhine Zarya, Dad 76 back on that Soldier 76 with a Moira, Brig, and a Lucio. So you're going to see them coming around that high ground. I wouldn't be surprised if they jump across high ground here, but we're getting Helix Snake up here extremely early, being aggressive through that Symmetra teleporter, just trying to deny everything that he can. And Pika getting up there as well, getting up on their faces, and a huge fire strike comes out from Darius Fulton. Casual OffSec throwing one back of his own, and Casual OffSec shield is in trouble with the Symmetra turret behind him. And it looks like they're going to have to drop down here and not really finish up what they wanted to start here. Trippin' Balls trying to jump across the high ground, but doesn't end up committing to it. Kagura looking and getting a kill on Charby there. And Kagura getting another one on Casual OffSec. This is going to be a good hold for them. This is a huge hold from Game of Throws, starting extremely early with that momentum. Pika chasing out Chibi Kitty right now and may or may not pick up that kill, but it doesn't matter either way now. What did you see there, Amara?
So a big thing there is, because that teleporter came up on high ground, they weren't able to just push past it and jump down really fast. They did a good job of taking out the Sim turrets. They took out the Torb turret, but by the time all that had happened, they just didn't have the momentum or the health or the shield to push it all the way.
Oh, Helix Snake picking up Dad 76 up on that high ground. He was trying to be a little bit sneaky, but Helix knew. And now they're going to push through this left side. And Darius Fulton getting a huge shatter on 2 of them. Getting casual upsec on the Winston. And tripping balls going down to Kagura as well as Chibi Kitty. And Darius Fulton getting the fire strike. And Helix Snake picking up Charvy. That was just absolutely huge shatter potential there for Darius Fulton. He saw it and he took it. And tell you what, that right there may have just won them that fight.
Absolutely. We've seen some beautiful shatters on both sides today, and the follow-up has been there, and it's really helped both of these teams when they're able to get in there and do that.
As long as the follow-up there, Earth Shatter is just one of the most devastating ultimates of the game, because it can just wreck down a team. And there's not a whole lot that you can do once you're on the ground. But it looks like Darius Fulton coming in with the charge on casual OPSEC, and they are playing extremely strong here, even in the Graviton Surf. Game of Throws. The ultimate comes out from Torbjorn on the Game of Throws from Helix Snake, and Kagura picking up one with the turret, and Chibi Kitty just standing all alone trying to die here, but not going to do it. And that's going to tick down overtime. Game of Throws is going to walk away with this map 1. Casual OPSEC just getting there a little bit too late.
So the big thing on that particular push is they took that high ground, and it really threw off Horned Beast when the entire enemy team came from the opposite side of this area of the map down onto them.
Darius Fulton here with the play of the game. And which Earth Shatter is it? Earth Shatter here on the very end, getting tripping balls, charging Chibi Kitty, and then just absolutely cleaning up everything else with Trippy Ninja, Boop, and Casual OPSEC off the point, cleaning up Chibi Kai. Oh, beautiful shatters all around, both from Darius Fulton and from Chibi Kai. And who else was playing? The Casual OPSEC was playing Reinhardt as well, right?
Yes.
So we had
I know he played Zarya. I believe he was playing Ryan the rest of the time, though.
We had 3 Reinhardts in that game, and they all just had beautiful shatters. Those shatters are just huge in turning team fights.
Absolutely. I'll tell you, I can't get a shatter to save my life. I've got one highlight of a shatter, and it was an accident. I can't play him to save my life.
Those are always super fun, but going into this next map, not 100% sure what it is yet, but what do you think that we are going to see swaps from Horned Beast to be able to do what they need to do here and just take over and get their first map win?
I think it's going to come down to if they can counter it. The biggest issue there was if they had pulled out a Pharah, they would have been able to take out all those turrets a lot quicker, which would have saved them time and ultimately would have saved them their shields and their health and all of that good stuff. The Rhine ults are coming in, and they're absolutely devastating to both teams. So if one can find a way to maybe not group so tight or focus him down first, that'll also give him a huge advantage.
Kagura on that Symmetra pick was just absolutely huge for them. Like you said, able to deny them that high ground, and it just threw off the momentum of Hornbeast so much because they started to wrap around there, realized the entire team of Game of Thrones was on that high ground that they wanted to take, and then there wasn't just really anything they could do from there. And it's really unfortunate for them because they were looking really strong coming into that, and then Game of Thrones holds for 2 minutes and 30 seconds to take map 1. But
absolutely,
right now,
and it was a strange combination of moves that they made. Again, it just comes down to they were killing all the turrets, they just weren't killing them fast enough.
that was definitely a problem we saw in Game of Thrones' push. But even then, they were destroying them pretty quickly. But Darius Fulton did take a good amount of damage from that one Symmetra turret behind him and ended up having to turn his shield away from the team fight to shield from that turret, or he may have went down there extremely early in that fight. But now we're going to move on to Lijiang Tower, being our control map for the night.
One
Or
moment.
are we not? Okay, maybe not.
On and out.
Trickster's tricking us.
Oh, Trickster.
Get it? I'm a trickster.
Oh, Trickster.
Are you a villain, Trickster? I think he's our resident
I
Discord
like to
villain.
think I take advantages when they're laid out.
There is
It's up to you to
there is a
decide.
DC villain named Trickster, so I think we're gonna go with that.
Oh, we don't relate. No
Oh,
correlation.
okay, are you sure?
None?
Correct.
All
No
right.
correlation. That I know of. I'll have to look into.
Okay.
All right, we do have Ludacris jumping in now for Game of Thrones, taking
And
his rightful spot on the team.
we are
Please
doing
give me
Lijiang
some
Tower.
May play. Please give me some of this May play. Ludicrous plays an absolutely spicy Mei.
I don't think I've seen his Mei play, but with a name like Ludicrous, where can your Mei go wrong?
Fair. This is fair.
We are beginning on Lijiang Tower.
All right, and Trickster taking the spotlight there for half of a second. We are going into Lijiang Tower with Game of Thrones being up 1-0 going into our second map. What do you think, any special comps, any weird comps that we're going to see here, Amara?
You know, I know some things can be absolutely devastating on this map. This is a big boop-heavy map, and with Hammond, that adds a whole nother boop. I've seen half a team get knocked off these bridges before. But other than the boops, it's just going to be a matter of who can fight on the point. A lot of times when you try to fight off this point, you ultimately end up losing. So it's just a big brawl map.
Couldn't agree more. I'm excited to see Trippy Ninja's Lucio on this one coming out from Game of Thrones because he was doing extremely well on that Lucio last map, because now he's got that boot potential on just so much space in this map. He's got it on the backside of this point. He's got it on the bridges. There's just so many places to knock people off of this map, and I think he is going to take a lot of advantage of that.
Absolutely. I wish we would see a Farah here. I love her here. But she does become a little bit of a nuisance here on this once you get inside. But other than that, I really only see the Lucios for boot potential here, and maybe the Monkey.
The Monkey is a weird pick for me because it didn't really seem to work out for them too well on King's Row. But then again, they didn't run it the whole game. They did just run it for a couple quick pushes. But right now, we've got Pika, D-Meki, Chibi Kitty extremely early, and this is already going in the favor of Game of Thrones, and that's going to be an extremely fast point take before the control point even unlocks. Darius Fulton just walking through, swinging away, and just taking out everyone. That was extremely fast on their side. Did you even, see anything that went on there?
I saw very little. I think a lot of that is it's a small corridor, and they came in, and when you're in a corridor like that, it's really hard to take characters like the Winston and things like that and get where you need to get. And with a Mei freezing you all in that doorway, it becomes a big issue.
Oh, but Trippy Ninja booping off Twitchy there. We had the hammer down come out from Darius Fulton, but got blocked by Casual Offsex Winston Shield. Darius Fulton demecking and killing Chibi Kitty with the Fire Strike, and Ludicrous getting Casual Offsec with the Mei freeze. This is just not looking too good right now for the team of Horn Beasts. It looks like they're just not able to get in. Darius Fulton is holding extremely strong front, just doing everything that he needs to, and it's just looking beautiful. But with Ludicrous on his side, it's just even easier for him to smack everybody around.
Absolutely. Mei can be extremely annoying, especially in small areas, and there really is no way to get to this point without walking over a bridge or through a tiny hallway.
Right now, it looks like they may need to change something up, maybe after a couple of these ultimates come out, but we are seeing them Horn Beast come in again. We're seeing the ult come out from Casual Offsec, but getting frozen immediately. The beat drop coming out from Trippy Ninja, and Darius Fulton just swinging away again. Ludicrous picking up Twitchy, and it looks like Horn Beast is just trying to get to the point here. Darius Fulton picking up Chibi Kitty and Casual Offsec, fighting on the point with Kagura, fighting on point with 4, and he's going to get taken out by Darius Fulton. But right now we have Reaper coming in, and it was not a good call for the Reaper as 5 people came around that corner and just immediately deleted him from that point. What did you see there, Amara?
I think the biggest issue here is you have your couple of dive characters that are getting in and they're getting in the back line, but the rest of the team just isn't able to get there with them. And trying to go through that back room so many times is just not working out for them.
I definitely agree with that. I think Casual Offsec switching over to the Reinhardt is pretty big here, but Darius Fulton getting 2 right after that hammer down, and now we have the Mei ult coming out, and it's not going to matter because everybody is already dead here on point with Darius Fulton and Kagura doing a majority, but Sway picking up Charvy. And that was huge, 100-0 for the team of Game of Thrones, looking extremely strong on this point. I wonder if Control is their game type.
It might be, and I hate to say it again because I said it last game, but a Pharah would absolutely be decimating this enemy team comp right now. If the Pharah can stay high enough up in the air, you can absolutely destroy that Mei, who's ultimately giving Darius so much room to work in there, freezing everybody and freezing the enemy tanks. And the other thing is when you're running dive, you can't have one of your dive tanks go way into the back line, one of your tanks go off to the right, and have the rest of your team stay behind. You have to coordinate those dives or it's not going to work.
You're definitely right. Coordination is key with dive, and Ludacris is just giving Darius Fulton all of the room to work that he wants. And with him having so much room to work with, it's just not looking too good for Horned Beast here. But we are moving on to the second point, so I'm hoping to see them maybe fight back just a little bit here. But we are switching off the Lucio from the side of Horned Beast and seeing an Ash come out from Dad76 and Iona from Twitchy, but Sway picking up Casual Obstacle extremely early. There's a huge biotic grenade onto the team of Game of Throws, but it doesn't look like it's going to matter as Sway picks up 2 and Pika picks up 1. Chibi Kai picked up Kagura there, but didn't matter.
Yeah, if you notice watching Game of Thrones, it's not like you're seeing 6 individual characters, seeing like a mass of people, like it's just a glob of them. They stay together, they push through, and they put all that damage out. A big thing that would help the enemy team here would be a Brig, or again, like I said, a Pharah. Try to counter that Mei a little bit.
The Pharah might be a little bit tricky once you get inside here. I'm not sure how high up into this ceiling the Mei's ice can reach, but if she can get up to that Pharah, then it's not going to really work out too well. I think the Brig would be a better call here, but at the same time, Ludacris is just running around Casual Obsec, trying to get him frozen up, and Darius Fulton pushing in extremely strong, getting the bubble, and just forcing out Horned Beast right there. They looked like they were going to full commit to that push, but didn't end up doing it. But now we have Casual Upset coming in with a huge hammer down, getting almost everyone, and Ludacris trying to wall off, but everybody else just walks in from the other side. And then we have the bubble coming out onto Casual Upset, and Darius Fulton getting slept in the back. Pika picking up Casual Upset, Chibi Kitty picking up Kagura, and this is looking extremely good on the side of Horned Beast, with only Darius Fulton coming back into contest, but it doesn't, I don't think it's going to be enough. Nope, it's not. He gets taken out by Twitchy. Dad76 takes out Darius Fulton, and somebody else took out someone, but I kind of missed it. It was too intense right there, seeing Darius Fulton come back in trying to contest, but having nobody there. It looked like it's going to pull it out for just a second, but didn't end up doing it. Amara, anything that you would have liked to see differently happen from the side of Game of Thrones there to maybe win over that point?
I think not splitting up after that Shatter came in would have helped them tremendously, but it was the risk that Darius had to take trying to get Casual out of the way.
Couldn't agree more, but now we have the Shatters coming down from Darius Fulton and getting everybody knocked down with Ludacris throwing out that ult as well, and Chibi Kai just trying to stall as long as possible, get that percentage up. But now we have Game of Thrones taken back over. We saw both Gravitons come out from each team there, respectfully, from Pika and Chibi Kitty, but I don't know if that was the best call there.
Sometimes you just end up throwing out both grabs at the same time. The issue there was one team had the Mei ult, so even though the grabs came out at the same time, they still had that second little bit of oomph to get them through on that point.
I think if you're Horned Beast here, you wait for that Mei ult to come out, because if you try to collapse on that Graviton, it's just going to have the Mei ult at its feet, and then it's going to just be deadly for you. But Casual Offset getting charged by Darius Fulton, and Bob picking up a kill onto Swag, with Chibi Kitty picking up one on Trippy Ninja, but all of Game of Thrones that is alive is coming back onto this point. Twitchy, Chibi Kai, and Dad's. Oh, Darius Fulton picking up Twitchy, but it looks like Horned Beast is going to take this one over.
This is a big back and forth right now on this map. We've seen them come in, take the point, the enemy came in and take the point, and again we're seeing Horned Beast come in and take this one more time. I'm telling you, the big issue here on whether they're going to be able to hold this or not is if they're going to be able to counter that Mei or not, and they really just don't have a character for it. They have no stun characters, and so without that, this Mei is going to build ult, and this Mei is going to come in and wall them and ult them, and so if they can't hold this, I think they're going to have a hard time winning this map.
Huge hammers down from Darius Fulton, but immediately gets charged out by Casual Offset, with Chibi Kai coming in with 3K on Trippy Ninja, Ludacris, and Kagura, with Dad76 cleaning it up right there. And that was looking really good for Game of Thrones, but Chibi Kai coming in with that Death Blossom just cleaned everything up that they thought they had.
Absolutely. This should help them get closer to that 99. They're going to get back around the same time the enemy team is, though. But if you notice here, Game of Thrones is grouped up because they all died. Horned Beast has to come in and regroup from the point and from their spawn in two different directions.
team of Game of Thrones had that Lucio, so they got there just early enough to pick off Twitchy, and Chibi Kitty picking off Sway with Kagura popping up the Transcendence and taking out Casual Obsec right before, but Bob comes out from the side of Game of Thrones and getting him into that Graviton Surge is going to be absolutely huge with Darius Fulton just cleaning up inside of that Graviton Surge, and we see the male come out from Ludacris and just cleans up this point. And it looks like this might be it. This is it for the Game of Team of Throws with the map 2 win. 2-0 Game of Throws over Horned Beast. Both teams are playing extremely well, but man, Horned Beast just, they were looking so good, but it wasn't able to pull out that last fight because of that Graviton, that May ult. What exactly did you see there, Amara?
A big issue there, you're right. It was a big issue for them was that Graviton. Chibi was at 90%, and because she couldn't get that ult out first, it put them at a disadvantage in that fight. The other big thing is losing that main healer at the beginning of the fight like that put them at a huge disadvantage, and being such a slow character compared to some of the others, she just wasn't able to get back in time, and then that wall came in, and so she couldn't save the point.
Luckily, with that play of the game, we did actually get to see what happened on that first fight of the first point. Darius Fulton just charging in, getting one, fire striking, and the wall comes up from Ludacris, hitting behind, and was just able to swing away, and Horned Beast couldn't go anywhere. That was just absolutely huge. Perfect wall timing from Ludacris, and just able to follow up from Darius Fulton, was able to take out everyone, and that first push set the tone for this entire map. It was absolutely...
I told you, Spicy May play.
I completely agree with it, because that was... I feel like Ludacris had a huge part in all of that map, and just I mean, that May play was beautiful. I love watching May. I love playing May. It's huge. But right now, it looks like we are going to be heading into our halftime. But Amara, Trickster, you guys have anything else to say?
We will hopefully see a great comeback or an eventful next few games.
I think there's no question that the next few games are going to be eventful, but right now we're going to go ahead and throw it into our halftime videos, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes.
Catch you then.
Is this just a dream? Is it reality?
And welcome back to the games. How was your breaks, guys?
My break was fantastic. I had to get some water because that was a little rough on my throat there the first game.
Talking a lot?
Definitely feeling it a little bit more this week. How about you, Amara?
Mine was great. I have me some pumpkin bread left over from this last holiday we just enjoyed. So, pumpkin bread always makes everything perfect.
Pumpkin bread is so good, and I really wish I had some right now. But unfortunately, I do not, and we are going into Junkertown with Game of Thrones up 2-0 on Horn Beasts. And honestly, I really liked Ludacris's May play, but do you think it's going to be as effective here on Junkertown?
You know, it can be if you play it right, especially once you get on the inside and if you're landing your icicle shots. I know he also does play Reapers, so we may see that come out as well. But yes, May can May can unequivocally be effective on this map. I looked up
Alright.
some
Love
synonyms.
May.
Okay,
Well,
I looked up
we
some
also-
synonyms here.
We are seeing a Orisa coming out from Chibi Kitty, it looks like, and Charvy's coming out on the Mercy with Twitchy on that Moira. And I think this is going to be a little bit better for them. It looked like, oh, never mind. We have a pause.
Someone disconnected, it looks like.
Anyway, I think that the heal swaps are going to be a little bit better for them. There's more consistency in the Moira and the Mercy, but we do have Dad76 disconnecting here, so we will have to wait on him. But looking at Junkertown, this map honestly is one of my favorites. I know a lot of people don't care for this map, and what is this game type? Is it Escort?
Yes.
Yeah,
This is
Escort.
Escort, and I do not like it, so.
I believe this is my favorite Escort map. Escort definitely isn't my favorite game mode, but out of the Escort maps, this one, just the aesthetic of this and the different phases, they just feel like they have such a contrast to them. Between the Streets phase, which is phase 2, and the third and final phase, it's just, they seem like night and day to me. Getting into going into the throne room, and it's just, to me, it's just like surreal. It's like, I grew up playing a lot of Elder Scrolls, so to me it's kind of like that. Like, you're walking up to the throne room and you get to see all this just unfold in front of you. But
I don't think throne rooms and Game of Thrones should really be anywhere near each other.
probably not.
I
Yeah,
don't
honestly-
think that usually ends well. Sorry
You're
guys,
not
our
wrong.
jokes are not as good as Captain Jack's.
Are back.
They are not, and they never
You're
will
right.
be.
This they won't. This map does change a lot between the different points, and that allows for switches. The big issue comes in when people don't switch between them. If you're running a character that's real good for this open area and you're not doing well on the second or third area, it's knowing when to switch and when to save your ult and go ahead and to use it that puts a lot of teams at disadvantages here. I don't particularly like this first part of this map because it's so open, and I do not like widows shooting me in the face, but the map is very aesthetically pleasing.
It is extremely aesthetically pleasing, and that again is a huge part of the reason that I like it. But we have Dad76 back online here, coming out on that Hanzo, and it looks like we are running a triple tank on the side of Hornbeast here.
Looks like we're going to see triple tank from both sides.
Oh, we
and
are.
Game of
We're
Thrones
seeing
actually running two main tanks.
goats. We're seeing a little bit of a goats variation on the side of Game of Thrones, and they're pushing extremely aggressive early. Ludacris getting into that backline on that Winston, and they're just gonna crash down onto the team of Horned Beast, doing everything that he can. Darius Fulton just swinging away, with Ludacris jumping on top of their heads with that Winston, zapping everything. But it doesn't look like they're gonna move that payload. I don't know if that's the best call for them, but Darius Fulton picking up the first kill on Dad76 with Ludacris demecking Chibi Kitty. And it's just, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot going on here with Darius Fulton swinging away at Casual Offsec and Pika picking up Charvy. Somebody needs to go back and push that payload, but right now Kagura is on the duty of payload, and Chibi Kitty is the only one in this fight with Twitchy getting picked off right behind, and Chibi Kitty is going to stagger out, but Dad76 now just trying to get a little bit of damage, but this payload could have moved a lot farther here. If Kagura, if anybody steps back onto that payload since the first fight, this may have been the first point for them.
Absolutely. They got real split by that dive when the Winston came into the back line. And yes, it does put them at a slight disadvantage that they didn't move that payload sooner, but they ultimately took out the entire enemy team and they staggered a couple people enough that they're now pushing it almost all the way because the enemy team had to regroup.
They did stagger them quite a bit, but right now we see the entire team of Horned Beast coming back in with a huge slam coming out from Darius Fulton. Dad 76 picking up Kagura and Charby getting the res onto Twitchy, but Darius Fulton is not done yet. He's trying to swing away, do everything he can, but Casual Offset coming out with the whole hop, pushing everybody back, getting Darius Fulton out of everyone's faces. But now the bubble comes out from Ludacris trying to shield any damage that we have, but now the Graviton Surge comes out from Pika, and it looks like that may just clean it up. Casual Offset's going to be the last to fall, and that's going to be 0.1 for Game of Throws here. That was an extremely strong push, and I don't really know what went wrong on the side of Horned Beast, because they looked extremely strong there, but I think the Graviton Surge is what did it in for them. And the Dragon Strike coming out from Dad 76 was an extremely crucial ultimate that got 1 or 2 picks and looked like it was really going to turn the tide of the fight, but it just didn't happen. What do you think, Amara?
I think a big thing there was I have to applaud Horned Beast. They didn't get back on the route, but again, they had that grab, which put them at a disadvantage, and it was just they didn't have the ult economy there because they had all been killed so quickly the first time, and then they had just done so much damage.
And we have Darius Fulton coming out with the slam, getting Chibi and Charby, and pinning him onto Chibi Kai's supercharger there, but Darius Fulton demeching Chibi Kitty and Charby getting the res on a Twitchy, but Darius Fulton is just rolling through this point right now, doing all the work to the healers that he can in the back line. And right now we have the Pharah from Casual OpSec just raining down, trying to do as much work as possible, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough as Game of Throws is pushing, but Twitchy's trying to hold this, and it looks like he may just get staggered out here, and that's going to hurt. That might hurt them quite a bit, but Chibi Kai is able to get in alongside of Chibi Kitty and just able to stall this out just a little bit, but Chibi Kai goes down extremely quickly. Chibi Kitty didn't commit to that fight, and I thought she was going to just to try to stall that out a little bit, but Chibi Kai going down extremely fast to the team of Game of Throws, and now they're going to be without their Reinhardt for just a minute, and Ludacris jumping on a Casual OpSec, trying to get as much damage as possible onto that Pharah, who's pretty much uncontested except for maybe Kagura. And Darius Fulton pushing extremely aggressive here with Kagura back on that payload. Darius Fulton landed a huge slam, getting the charge onto Chibi Kitty. Swinging away onto Chibi Kai, looking to pick something up. And Darius Fulton taking out Chibi Kai, and Chibi Kitty is eventually going to fall. But now we have Pharah coming back out to try to get some poke damage. What did you see there, Amara?
This Winston is absolutely devastating to Horned Beast right now. They did a good job, and they switched off of the Orisa Hog, which wasn't enough mobility to take care of him, but they did it so late, and then they didn't allow themselves to regroup once they had made that change. A big thing here that could help them counter that would be a Brig or a Reaper, or maybe even both.
Speaking of the Winston being a threat, he was in their spawn door that whole time that you were talking about that, and now just chasing down the Pharah, trying to pick her off, but now hammered down, coming out from the side of Darius Fulton again, just landing so many hammer downs, and Game of Throws is gonna push this again with Ludacris going in on that Winston, keeping everybody at those doors except for Twitchy. Twitchy's gonna come out, and now Chibi Kai is coming out as well, trying to get that Dragon Strike from Dad 76 and just trying to hold everything they can. But Chibi Kai getting this huge slam of 3 or 4 there. Darius Fulton's gonna shield that. Oh, turns away for the bomb against Darius Fulton. Chibi Kitty getting that huge bomb onto Darius. That's their shield down, and this might be able to be a hold for the side of Horned Beast. But Chibi Kitty is just chucking away, trying to get Pika down. The Casual OpSec raining from above, trying to take out Trippy Ninja, but Trippy's so evasive, and I think it's just time for Game of Throws to give up this push. They have 2 minutes and 22 seconds to finish this up. Chibi Kai looking for the pin, but doesn't get it. Ludacris coming down on that Winston. Pika getting 3, getting 2 with the DMAC, and then Darius Fulton just swinging away again. Casual OpSec is just raining down, and it's just barely too high to contest that. And that was just absolutely huge for Game of Throws. To me, it looked like that was lost for just a minute, but once Ludacris got back there, it just turned around. What did you see there, Amara?
Pika coming in and getting the 2 kills in the DMAC was absolutely for them, and running that Winston and his mobility to get to the point allowed him to get back. The reason that enough of his team was able to stay alive, though, is Horned Beast just doesn't have enough damage, and they're not focusing characters, which allowed them to stall that long. Both of their main tanks went down. Both of their main tanks got back because none of them were focused while they were waiting for them.
I couldn't exactly understand what happened to Darius Fulton there on that Diva bomb, but he was blocking it so well, and then it looked like last second he turned away from it, and I'm not sure if it was just mistiming on his part or if something happened to him, but it did end up catching him, and honestly that was almost the point of losing that fight for Game of Thrones, because that Reinhardt shield is just such huge. It's just a big old game of stand behind your rectangle, fire all the damage possible, and kill the other team's rectangle. And that one is just absolutely huge for them, getting that big pick from Chibi Kitty onto Darius Fulton.
It allowed them a good little hold there at the end. They can come in and they can take this. It's not like there's 5 minutes left on the clock for the enemy team. They just need to focus down the enemy. They just didn't have enough damage to take out the shields and all the tanks.
I think if they take out these shields, then they have a very good chance of pushing this point, but now they come out with Chibi Kai on the Bastion, so that's going to be huge for them on the shield break war. Casual Op second, Chibi Kitty on the Rhine, Orisa, and Kagura's coming up from behind. Ooh, misses Twitchy, the target there for the rocket punch, but doesn't end up picking it up. Ludacris getting two there, and Casual OpSec getting the charge, trying to take Darius Fulton out of this fight, but right now it's looking in the way of Game of Thrones, but Casual OpSec is just all alone all the way back in the backline. He took out Darius Fulton, and now he's just going to get staggered. Maybe he might make it out. He makes it out. I was not expecting him to make it out of that fight.
I was not either. Him getting into that far into that backline left his team extremely vulnerable. Although Kukura missed his initial attack on that Bastion, him being on the ground and the rest of the team falling down ultimately took out the Bastion and gave him the advantage there.
The Junkrat, I think, was a huge, huge first pick there for the side of Game of Thrones. And now he has an attire coming online, getting one, just Twitchy there, because Dad76 Wraith and Chibi Kai ends up throwing out that bubble, but Ludacris picking up Charvy with that Junkrat mine. And right now, Darius Fulton is just swinging away up the ground, not letting anybody touch that payload, with Pika getting Chibi Kitty on the Tracer. I wasn't expecting to see her on that Tracer. Dad76 now picking up Kagura, but can I just go back to that? I don't think I've ever seen Chibi Kitty play the Tracer.
I don't think I have either.
I don't think it's
Tracer
a bad pick
is
for
not
her.
a real common pick in the OCCScrims.
It really isn't, and that kind of surprises me a little bit. But Pika throwing out the Graviton Surge, picking up two Trippy Ninja, getting both of those kills in that Graviton. Chibi Kai ends up taking himself out, and Pika getting Twitchy, but Dad76 is the last to fall after picking up Trippy Ninja. And that, I don't know why, that threw me off so much, seeing Chibi Kitty on the Tracer, and now Chibi Kitty switching over to the Pharah. I don't know if switching this much is a good idea, but I like seeing the variety of picks coming out from Chibi Kitty.
The switch is important, though, because Tracer into this comp is really difficult, especially against a Doomfist and a Junkrat and Junkrat Trap and a Moira. There's just too many things that counter a Tracer on this map, so I think that switch will really help them, even though she was close to Tracer ult.
I would have liked to see the Pharah come out first, but Dad76 now coming out with a double kill on Trippy Ninja and Pika. Ludacris getting Twitchy, and now we're just seeing Game of Thrones kind of standing here in the back line, not letting anybody push through, with Kagura getting Chibi Kitty with the seismic slam. Now we're seeing the tire come out from Ludacris and picks up Chibi Kai right after Chibi Kai picked up Kagura on that Doom.
But the back cap on Charvy's part here.
Oh, I didn't even notice, and that's huge! Charvy needs to get in there and just do a little bit of damage. If he could have got that damage, then it might have been just a little bit farther. But right now, Horned Beast is pushing extremely strong, getting that coalescence from Charvy and Casual OpSec, just throwing everybody back with that hammer. We got Kagura coming in and tried it. Nope, he's just getting out now. But Casual OpSec picks him off. That back cap, I didn't even notice that. I was watching the fight.
She did an excellent job of hiding behind that payload there.
That was absolutely beautiful, and I think once they realized it, I think they realized that about the same time you said something, and once you said something, my
turned
focus
around.
shifted, and they did too.
And they got shattered for it.
And they got shattered. That was just absolutely devastating and such a good play, whether it was meant to happen or not from the side of Horned Beast. It was just perfect.
Everything's on purpose. You trip, it's on purpose.
Everything is on purpose. But right now we have Chibi Kitty still on that Pharah, just trying to rain down. Charvy ends up taking Kagura, and that's just huge for the side of Horned Beast. But Darius Fulton throwing down the slam, getting 2, but not able to pick anything up. Not able to follow up on that Graviton Surge either, but Casual Offset getting 4 and just picking, Casual Offset getting Darius Fulton, but Sway picking up Casual Offset, and right now Chibi-Kai is their main source never mind, Reaper's still there, so we have the beat drop coming out from Trippy Ninja, we have Chibi-Kai and Dad 76 coming out with the main damage source and getting walled off, but right after Dad 76 picks off Trippy Ninja, Chibi Kitty picking off Pika. That's 2 DPS ults down for the side of Horned Beasts. And Darius Fulton's trying to do everything he can to just try to keep this up, but Casual Obsec with the big 3K right there. And Kagura sitting up on that high ground trying to get a little bit of damage in, but not able to do much of anything there, with Trippy Ninja coming in for the recontest along with Pika, but it doesn't look like it's gonna really matter as Trippy Ninja goes down extremely early and Pika gets focused down quickly as well. What did you see there, Amaro? Like,
a lot of that came down to numbers. Horned Beast had the numbers, even losing that Pharah, they still maintained numbers in the team fight. And with Kagura not being able to do a lot with Casual Shield up, they were able to take the point pretty easily there.
I think Game of Thrones played that they played it really well, but the stagger came in, I think, just a little bit too early for them. If they would have waited just another second, they would have still been able to recontest and maybe get somebody else on that point, and that may have went a little bit different. But the Graviton now coming out from the side of Game of Thrones, but the slam comes out from Casual Obsec, just absolutely huge, with Charvy coming out with that Coalescence and Chibi Kitty picking up Sway. And man,
I have to applaud Trippy Ninja there, because somebody was going down to that Reinhardt charge and he booped him out of the way.
yeah, that was extremely good boop on the side of Trippy Ninja, but it did end up still picking up somebody. So I think it just kind of goes under the radar sometimes when a Reinhardt gets booped away from a charge. And right now, Chibi-Kai gets frozen against that Mei wall and goes down extremely fast. But right now, Casual Obsec might get stuck in this Mei freeze. Oh, that Mei freeze from Ludacris was just huge, picking up everybody that it got frozen. And man, Casual was just so close to getting out of that, but wasn't able to get it. But it may have been better that he died in that ultimate instead of getting out.
Yes, it's not going to be like Trippy Ninja was able to, after moving that rank, get back to his team instead of getting staggered, which allowed them that speed to come in and overwhelm the other team. But yes, getting picked off there instead of getting staggered gives them a little bit more time to regroup.
Definitely, and now we got 60 seconds remaining with Game of Thrones holding an extremely strong defense here, but we got Horned Beast coming in strong. Casual Upset getting walled off, but not able to finish up on that. Kagura picking off Chibi Kitty extremely early in this, and now they're pushing underneath, just trying to get around the backside, try to catch him off track. But Dad 76 coming in with the ult and picking up Ludacris. That's going to be a huge pick for them. But Darius Fulton takes out Dad and Casual Obsec, and right now it's not looking too good for the side of Horned Beast. They've got 2 supports and Chibi-Kai on the Zarya up, but it's 5v3. And Chibi Kitty picking up Kagura, but Kagura also gets Chibi Kitty. We have the double Coalescence coming out, but the Coalescence gets shattered, and Darius Fulton getting Chibi-Kai with that charge. Casual Offset getting the huge slam, but there's not a lot of follow-up. Gets 2, Dad 76 gets 1. Darius Fulton trying to do everything he can with Pika coming in with the Graviton Surge, and there's Bob coming out from the side of Game of Thrones. Casual Offset doesn't know what to do with his shield. Is it Bob? Is it Pika? But there's nothing you can do against that, and Chibi Kitty just doesn't get there in time. Game of Thrones wins map 3. And tell you what, that game, that was looking really good for the side of Horned Beast there for a little bit. And I thought they were going to come out, and I thought we were going to see a little bit of a longer game there. But just Game of Thrones got extremely well oiled till at the end of that. They were looking a little rough in the second phase, but they came out and they showed Horn Beast what was up in that third phase, and I've got to give it to Game of Thrones for that. But Horn Beast still playing extremely well. Amara, what do you have to say about that game as a whole?
Overall, I think it was a very good game. There were a lot of really tough parts and a lot of really close parts. Again, it comes down to just focusing the enemy characters. Kagura had free reign for a lot of that, and so did Ludacris on the Mei. And again, when you get into that inside areas instead of those big open areas, Mei becomes a lot more effective. And if you can't focus her down, she just is just able to do too much for the enemy team.
I definitely agree, because just Kagura was running it, and so was Ludacris. Ludacris just doing everything that he needed to, and Darius Fulton swinging away, but it just didn't matter because of Horn Beast was just so well oiled. Or sorry, Game of Thrones was so well oiled that Horn Beast was not able to push it out to the end there. And man, tell you what, that was a close game. I definitely would have liked to see that game go a little bit longer and maybe get Horn Beasts their first win of the night. But now we are seeing Hanamura with a 3-0 lead for Game of Thrones with our Silver Division. Right now, do me a favor, chat. Start thinking about your player of the match. There's definitely been some big playmakers here, and I'm curious to see what everybody thinks of their player of the match.
I think it's going to be a
Mara?
tough one for me. There's a lot of people playing really well individually. They just together and play well as a team.
I definitely agree, because that is just, there's been so many playmakers here, and it's going to be so hard for me to pick just one. And I think that Ludacris is playing extremely strong, but him not being in that map 1, I think that's going to be a little bit hard for me to pick him for no reason whatsoever, other than, hey, he wasn't in map 1. I don't know if I want to give it to him, but it's not his fault. It's not his fault. He had some stuff he had to do. That's just how my brain works.
There's nothing wrong with that. It happens. Real life comes first sometimes. I don't know if anybody else has read the chat. I'll say a big thank you to Elfie for a 5th month subscription here.
Dad,
and we have the hashtags for Elfie coming out.
Ooh.
It was on purpose. Everything's on purpose.
Everything is on purpose.
So thank you, Elfie, for your subscription.
Give it up in the chat for Elfie.
Hashtag for Elfie.
Hashtag for Elfie. Everything's for Elfie.
We got people hating on my pumpkin bread.
Ah, that's not cool. Why do we got that? And right now, we're going to see Charvy on this Mei, and it worked out extremely well for the side of Game of Thrones last time. But now we're going to see Horn Beast with it. Oh, and it looks like Darius Casual Offsec might be in a little bit of trouble here, but Heads Up winning this fight. I don't know how he pulled out that fight. That was
worried there for a second.
He went in for the charge into that room and missed it, but then ended up getting 2 kills out of it, with Chibi-Kai picking up 2 as well, and Dad76 picking up the 5th.
It is very dangerous to go in against the Mei like that by yourself. And when the enemy team surrounded him, I was worried too, but damage was coming in through both doors from his teammates, and I'm assuming healing as well since he didn't die.
I don't know how he didn't die. I saw he had the Harmony Orb on him at the end of that fight, but I'm not sure how long that was up. But now we got Sway looking at this high ground, just trying to do something, taking out Dad76, and that's going to be a huge thing. We've got an uncontested Ashe, not having to worry about that Ashe now. But now we got Darius Fulton trying to go into point, but gets Biotic Grenaded extremely early, and somehow staying up against that Zarya and Ana. But now Game of Thrones is going to take over this point against Chibi-Kai and Chibi-Kitty on that Zarya Zenyatta. And now Game of Thrones winning over that fight and just absolutely demolishing Horn Beast on that next push that they had.
Yeah, Game of Thrones is excellent at splitting up the enemy team and capitalizing on it. Especially when you can get the healer away from the rest of the team, Mei can come in and take out that pick really easily on any squishy, but it's really devastating when it's a healer.
I don't know how they do it, because sometimes Horn Beast seems like they're so well oiled and so well grouped, but then other times Game of Thrones just gets in there and wrecks everything, does what they need to do, gets everybody split up. But right now, Casual OpSec is in a very bad position, and he ends up falling because of the separation from the May wall. Darius Fulton charging in, getting the huge hammer down, and this is going to be a huge fight for them already, with Sway getting 3 on that with the hammer down, and Twitchy is all alone. But right now, we have Casual OpSec trying to come in and recontest, and it's not soon enough. Darius Fulton getting pinned onto his own teammate's May wall, and just Casual OpSec was just a little bit too late.
Game of Thrones
that
is
respawn timer.
refusing to be split up. All night tonight, they are sticking together no matter what happens, and once they commit, they go in and they really commit.
Game of Thrones with 5 minutes and 30 seconds on that clock after overtime, and that's going to be huge for them. That's giant, because they've got so much time where all they have to do is hold. If they hold 1 point, they win. If they hold 2 points, they win. As long as it doesn't go into Horned Beast capturing both points, then they don't even have to worry about that time bank. But even then, you don't really have to worry about that time bank, because they've got 5.5 minutes in it. But right now, we are coming out on the attack here from Horned Beasts. And are we going to see Chibi Kitty on this Hammond? I don't think we're going to see Chibi Kitty on this Hammond.
I don't know. Chibi Kitty is known to do some very interesting things.
I don't think I've seen Chibi Kitty play Hammond, but I also hadn't seen Chibi play Tracer.
Maybe it's a night of first.
Night of first here from Chibi Kitty. So this is definitely an interesting pick. I didn't realize that if you go inside of Hammond's mech, you can see all of Hammond.
It's slightly disturbing.
It is. Definitely is. But you can see all of him. And that, personally, is the skin that I use on Wrecking Ball. So I'm excited to see Chibi Kitty switching over to the Diva, which is probably better overall. Probably a more comfortable pick for Chibi Kitty. And if you're not going to run another dive tank with the Wrecking Ball, it may not be the best pick. But right now, Tribute Ninja getting extremely aggressive on that Brig. Darius Fulton and Casual OpSec trading out fire strikes, and Darius Fulton's shield is going down extremely quickly. Tried to bait out that wall from Casual OpSec, and he did it very well. Ludicrous getting that wall right under him, but Casual OpSec getting stunned down and pinned by Darius Fulton. Right now, Chibi Kitty's in a very bad spot and gonna get demeched and probably taken out here as they just walk through this team, and that's a double shatter kill with 3 getting knocked down. That was just huge. He got that shatter so fast, and I think it's mainly because of that May.
That is definitely a big part of it. The only thing is, when you kill 2 of the 3 people with the shatter itself, it comes down to, did he really need it there? A big thing that the Horned Beast could do here is just switch to his Zarya.
I don't think that he needed that shatter, but it was interesting to me to see the 2 kills come out with it. But Dad76 picked off Kagura extremely early, so they're going to be down that on it for this fight. But now we're looking at Horned Beast just taking over this point. Ludicrous is trying to do everything he can on this May, trying to get that freeze out, but Charby coming out with that Coalescence, trying to keep Chibi Kitty up, and Ludicrous doing everything he can, but not able to pick it up. Pika trying to focus down Charby, trying to focus down Chibi Kitty. Not sure what to do here because there's so much damage, but now we got Kagura back in the fight, healing up Pika, and this might be something that Game of Thrones can pull off with the nano boosted Zarya, and with Darius Fulton coming out, but immediately getting picked off. Chibi Kitty trying to bomb there, but doesn't end up picking anybody up, and I'm not sure if that was the best call here. I think that was a better better use for their push on onto this next point.
It could help their push. I still think she needs to switch over to that Zarya. The big thing that won them that point there is once that Moira ult came out, Ludicrous stayed focused on killing Casual OpSec and freezing him before he got that shatter in there, instead of focusing on freezing that Moira ult, which kept Chibi alive, which kept her on the point.
I think it all comes down to target focus from Game of Thrones. If they focus the right targets here, then I believe that they win this game. But we have 5.5 minutes for them to hold for Horned Beasts to take this point. Oh, and the wall coming out just a little bit too early from Ludicrous. But the Dragon Strike doesn't end up picking anybody up. Everybody's hiding in that staircase. Now Casual OpSec's coming down from the back line, trying to pick everybody off. But Pika and Ludicrous get 2. And now Charby's alone on the point with Sway and Pika, and it doesn't look like it's gonna be too good for Harvey. Might just get staggered out here. Sway is standing on that point, not letting anything happen. Darius Fulton getting 3. I completely missed that.
I was so busy trying to see if that was a cap on that first tick or not.
I was as well. I wasn't sure if they were gonna really do anything with it, but Darius Fulton pushed out and got extremely aggressive and got a 3K on that outside left point, or sorry, the top right push from the attacker's side. And just
They did an
that's
excellent
huge
job
for
there
them.
of not getting split up. They didn't send their entire team to go after the one person on point, and so they were able to continue to focus the rest of Charvy's team up in that area.
Game of Thrones knows what they're doing here. They've got 4 ults online with the nano boost just now coming up, and now they're gonna push into here and try to get everything going the best that they can. And Darius Fulton looks like he's gonna get a little bit aggressive here, trying to push off of that May ult, but Ludicrous. Oh, the sleep comes out from the side of Game of Thrones, and that was just beautiful. Saved Ludicrous's life, but Chibi Kai comes out with the big Blossom, getting Pika and Kagura, but Hornbeast can't get in there. Ludicrous is the only one alive right now, it looks like. And there's Bob coming out from Sway, but immediately getting picked off by Dad76. So now it's a nano boosted Bob asleep on point, but they wake him up. And now Dad76 trying to fight him, but it's not happening. Now Bob is gone, and it's just Trippy Ninja battling Casual OpSec. Now we got 4 from Game of Thrones, and it looks like Game of Thrones is gonna keep this on without losing a tick to it. And Chibi Kitty remeching, but immediately getting destroyed. What did you see there, Mara? Anything they could have done differently to maybe actually take that over?
A big thing there was not waking up the nanoed Bob. I know Bob is relatively new to this game along with Ash, but he can be bubbled, he can be ulted. So he becomes very devastating if you wake him up.
That was
Another
a big
big
point
thing
for me.
is- Yeah, another big thing is that not having that D.Va in mech there put them at a big disadvantage.
Definitely the DMX D.Va was a big part of that, but I think the biggest thing that happened wrong for Hornbeast was that Bob waking up. He was nanoed, and it's just a bad time when you get Bob nanoed. And right now we have Game of Thrones trying to do everything that they can, but Dad76 picking up Ludicrous extremely earlier. Darius Fulton swinging away on the point, hitting Charby, hitting GB Kai, and the rally comes out from Trippy Ninja, and Dad76 trying to hold on but can't get it. And right now Trippy Ninja is going to pick off Twitchy without a problem with that rally being up. And Twitchy finally falls to Sway. That push looked like it was going decently, but I think Casual OpSec fell just a little bit too early, and his team wasn't there to capitalize on it. I'm not sure if there was a May wall that came up between him and his team when he got charged, but he didn't have his team anywhere near him. What do you think happened, Mara?
I didn't see it either, but I know both of those tanks getting picked off so early and their Ana getting picked off so late put them at a disadvantage trying to come back into this point again.
The Ana isn't quite back yet, it doesn't look like, but now, oh, nope, Ana did just go down, so she was back, but now we have Ludicrous ulting on point with Charvy raining a coalescence from outside, but it doesn't really do a whole lot. Ludicrous getting 3 here, or 2, sorry, with the DMech. And Ludicrous popping that ult was just absolutely huge for him, because that could have been a really good push from the side of Horned Beast. But now Horned Beast has the Dragon Strike and the Earth Shatter, and almost has Chibi Kai's Death Blossom. He's had a couple huge ones tonight, and they've just been devastating, and they could win this solely off of the Chibi Kai Death Blossom if it's placed right.
You're right. His free-for-alls can be extremely devastating. It comes down to following up after that. And it looks like we're going to see Charvy come in on this point again. It can break up the enemy team, but they haven't been splitting up well enough today that
They are going to get one take off of it at least.
But not having that healing can also put them at an extreme disadvantage.
That, I feel like, was a big thing in that fight, but right now it's just Charvy against Ludicrous, and I don't think Charvy's going to win this one out. Now coming in with Trippy Ninja and Darius Fulton getting picked off, but they did get one tick. I don't know if there's going to be a recontest from the side of Horned Beast here. Right now we've got the Ana running in, but that Ana's gonna get destroyed so fast. And it doesn't look like anybody cares enough to pick her off early, and Casual ObsTech isn't gonna get there in time, and that's map 4 going to Game of Throws, coming out with the victory of the night. Game of Throws 4-0, and let's take a look at this play of the game. Casual ObsTech coming out on that Reinhardt with the Bloodheart skin. Golden Axe charging down, trying to get Ludicrous.
Here it is from the inside.
Here's that play that we missed again. It seems like that's the theme of the night here and Lijiang Tower. The big plays that came early that we missed just happened to be plays of the game.
At least we get a second chance.
Yeah, we get to see him at least, so that's a plus. I'm not sure if the stream got to see it the first time, but now we get to see it. All right, so with that, that is going to be our last map of the night, and I'm going to go ahead and ask the Twitch chat to go ahead and blow up. Trickster?
What?
I heard you laughing.
I was
Give
just
us your
laughing.
Give us your player of the match here.
Me?
I'm really
I was gonna ask you all first.
I was asking Twitch chat, but now you're going to be first.
What?
The Twitch chat, blow it
Me?
up with who your player of the match is. I'm interested to see who Twitch chat says along with everybody else.
Oof. All right. Who's gonna go first on that one?
I
Trickster.
insist you do.
Nope, Trickster.
Loud checks.
Ooh, you know.
Dang.
No,
No, don't
Trickster.
put me on the spot like
No,
this.
Trickster. No, you tried to take the spotlight. You can have it now.
No, I was just laughing. I don't want. All right. Well, instead of player of the match, I would say viewer of the match is really needed. And I'm gonna say Eternal. Everyone, most toxic, right? Right. No, scotch that.
Oh my goodness. Called out Eternal.
Dang,
Calling
Eternal.
Eternal out.
If you're watching,
Um,
man, just know
You
that.
better be watching. To hear me call you out. But on a realistic note, I felt that Pika playing Zarya just every time was a great way to help the team push those fights forward to the next point, or just defend the hold. And so I think I'm gonna give it to Pika this time. But there were amazing plays by so many other players, such as Casual, Chibi, and such. What about you, Loudtrack?
Oh, me. That's the thing. I was actually really happy with the tank play. I've played with Casual, I've played with Darius, and I know they're both on par with each other, and just kind of both of them swinging away. I think it was fantastic. I have to say though, Darius took the cake, man. And I honestly, I just want to note it's like by a margin. But Darius was just killing it tonight.
Alright, I'm going next because I gotta say, mine's Casual.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah.
That some of the things he did were just too beautiful. They were just too beautiful. It's like that last play of the game. It was just it made my soul happy.
I can agree.
Yeah, I hope they build kind of like a Sips TV Star-Lord kind of thing going on.
Yes.
I
All
hope
the
so.
Rhymes did
I still have
great,
my
but
healthy
I have
man,
to.
okay?
Alrighty, what you got, Dank?
I'm gonna have to give it to Ludicrous. Him playing that Mei enabled Darius Fulton to just run around team of Horned Beasts, and tell you what, it was beautiful to watch him play that Mei. And just overall, he was playing extremely well. Like I said, going into that fourth map, it was going to be hard for me to give it to him because he had a little bit less playtime than everybody else on the team, but he really stood out, getting those big walls, getting just the biggest plays as on that Mei, and definitely took the cake for.
Would you say he did amazing?
Stop.
Amazing.
Nope.
Hey! Somebody in the Twitch chat said it. It wasn't just me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing
I'm
love.
just giving the people what they want.
I'm seeing a lot of CAG love though.
There was a lot of amazing plays. Just saying.
Seeing a lot of CAG. I'm seeing a little bit of Luda. So.
Both Chibs. Captain Jack coming in for both Chibis and Dad 76.
Of course, the dad's got to.
I would
Yes,
like
they
to.
had great plays.
I would like to, throw it out to Chibi Kitty for trying out the Tracer, playing the Pharah, doing a couple new characters. And I'm sure there were some others tonight, but Chibi Kai played extremely well tonight too. Everybody there was so many playmakers in that match that it was really hard for me to pick my player of the match.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, does anybody have anything else?
I believe so.
When are we gonna see our next scrim, Loudtrex?
Oh, you
Yes,
are
that's
actually.
right.
You're actually going to watch me tomorrow from the. You're gonna see me shooting at people and the things. With,
Are you gonna click the heads?
Oh, I'll be playing too. I totally forgot.
how did you forget?
I'm-
We are on
do
the
you
same
forget?
team. We are on the same
I'm pretty
team.
oblivious. Some people know this. People know I'm oblivious. I'm just
It's
saying.
Trickster, that's all I have to say.
Most
There
people.
you go. I'm tricking the audience. Get it?
But all right, folks. Yeah, tomorrow we're going to have Pro against Team Void at 8:30, followed by the Platinum Division on Saturday at 8:30. Let me just take a look at the schedule, see who we're going to have up next that day. It looks like it's going to be Monarch versus OSA. I think OSA is coming off of their latest victory. Ain't that right, Dank?
Yep.
So,
we did end up winning the last one, but I don't believe that we are playing this weekend, are we?
Yeah, you are.
Didn't we play the last two?
Oh, no, you're right. You're right. It's Frost against Monarch. So it's the. You are absolutely right.
I'm not done.
I was saying the wrong week. My
What a
apologies.
twist.
But absolutely, Frost v Monarch. Let's see who can hold on to that one. Once again, folks, I want to thank you guys for joining us tonight. Thank you for all the love, the chat, the follows, hashtag 4Elfie, always. And we will see you guys next time.